What's up, guys? This is Justin. I'm here with Tate.
Hey, how's it going?
It's going very well. Tate is the best Hearthstone player in the office, and some of the other Hearthstone players, including me, are having a tremendous amount of trouble clearing the heroic versions of the new Naxxramas bosses. We're in Wing 1 right now, and their hero powers are insane, their decks are insane. So Tate, you hit Legend almost every single month, and we sort of enlisted your help to construct a few decks that can help people, help us, and help everybody at home clear these heroic bosses. So what's this deck that we're taking a look at now?
Yeah, this deck is a mage deck catered to deal with Maexxna.
Yeah, we were talking about that before we started recording. Please, don't give us too much of a hard time for any mispronunciation there. The third and final boss, the giant spider in Naxxramas in the Spider Wing. That's what this deck is sort of tuned to clear. So, this is sort of similar to the mage deck you constructed for Inubrakan. Can you talk about some of the differences or how people should pilot this deck, or just sort of run through some of its highlights?
Yeah, the strategy is extremely similar to the first mage deck we played. The difference is that this one runs a few more battlecry creatures. After you play the boss, you'll recognize that every chance it gets, it's going to send creatures back to your hand. It's 0 mana to return 2 creatures, so means you need a deck that can do damage without creatures on the board.
So, was it tempting to run, now my brain's escaping me, the mage minion that provides, that battle cries and provides spell power?
No, because it would just return to your hand.
But then it provides spell power. It's terrible that I can't remember the name.
You're talking about the Archmage?
Archmage!
Or Ancient Mage?
Ancient Mage. And then it provides spell power to other minions that are on the board. I guess maybe there's just too many being bounced back to your hand, so it wasn't worth it.
It's really hard to keep anything on the board. So we'll go through the minions that we did run, because the rest is pretty standard mage spell. AoE to stall. Arcane Explosion is actually unique because the boss runs a lot of low health minions. But in terms of what we do put on the board, Voodoo Doctor, just restoring 2 health for 1 mana. It's going to bounce back to your hand. If you get 2 of these, for 2 mana each turn, you're going to restore 4 health.
I mean, this is really a case of this boss. Its hero power in some ways is an advantage. The AI isn't smart enough to really make the smart. Like, it'll give you that Voodoo Doctor back over and over and over again.
It will not clear it unless you have a 3rd minion. Novice Engineer, the same. 2 mana, it's going to draw you a card over and over and over again, help you get to your spells. Another difference we're running in this one is Ice Barrier. Or I believe we might have had Ice Barrier in the last one. Cold Light Oracle, same thing. 2 card draw to get into the cards you need.
So basically, it's laying minions that are going to draw you cards or heal you, and then just drawing into the damage that you need to draw into to secure lethal. Yeah, that totally makes sense. So let's give it a shot and see how it goes. We recorded a couple other videos and we haven't had the best luck clearing these heroic bosses, but that seems to be how it always goes. Once it's the moment the cameras roll.
These bosses are no joke, but Blizzard did a great job providing a challenge for even the best players. I'm sure everyone, along with myself, went into their heroic bosses with their standard deck lists and realized there's no chance.
You do need to tailor those deck lists. Maexxna, that's how I'm sort of shouting it there.
You asked for
what was I starting to say? Oh, so yeah, these are tips that if you use this deck list and pilot it in the way that, sort of Tate, you're going to advise people to pilot it. After a few attempts, you will eventually secure victory, whether we manage to do it in this specific instance or not.
Yeah, so, I mean, you can't see it right now, but behind this is 2 1/2 minions that summon 2 1/1 minions each. Makes Arcane Explosion very essential. And then Novice Engineer is just there to help us draw into what we need.
Yep, that totally makes sense. And there's really no need for those stall cards, at least not in our opening hand. So easy decision to mulligan that away. So why don't we talk about before, we've sort of alluded to it, but what that hero power specifically actually is.
Yeah, we'll see it in action next turn, but you'll notice the boss casts it at the beginning of every turn, regardless of whether you have minions or not. And it'll return 2 minions to you. So what we're looking at is, you'll see it in play right now. We play the Novice Engineer to draw a card. It's going to return it to our hand so we can draw another card later.
I hope you like my
it's basically 2 mana draw card.
Now, one thing to be careful about when you play this deck is you can oversaturate your hand with cards and start burning cards.
Sure.
Which is not something you want to do.
No.
So at certain points, you'll play cards like Ice Barrier that drop and give you health. Frost Nova kind of dumps a card out of your hand. So we're gonna do one of those right now.
Yep. No reason to not get that Ice Barrier out of your hand. You know you need to use it at some point, so why not use it now?
Yep. And you can actually use the low damage of this boss's minions in your favor. If you fill the board with 1/1s, there's not a lot of reason to clear them. It's not too much damage each turn.
Yep, that absolutely makes sense. If Blizzard were inclined to tweak this boss, I think what they would probably end up doing is making it clear, consider clearing minions. Have a check, does it make more sense to clear this minion before I activate that hero power? Because as it is right now, they'll just bounce them back to your hand every single time without really thinking too much about it.
Yep. So what we're doing right now is another Ice Barrier. It's essentially 8 extra health with the plan, and we'll follow up with a Frost Nova next turn and a Ping, which will set up a Blizzard, which will clear most of the board and be able to help us build towards the late game.
And then Arcane Explosion to clear all those 1/1s that are about to explode out of those spiders.
Exactly.
And you already have, you have card draw in your hand, so it's sort of easy to see. If you keep your head about you, you are in sort of a very manageable position right now, honestly.
Yeah, so right now, we're pinging the 2/3. Everything has 2 health, but the ambusher. So next turn, we're going to be able to kill 3 of these minions, or 5 of these minions. It's going to attempt to summon 6 more. The board's going to be too full.
Yeah, that's actually an interesting point, too. It's not even going to get all the 1/1 spiders at once.
Yep. And the ambusher and this sludge belcher won't actually have the opportunity to attack next turn either. So we're clearing the majority of the board. So it almost got full value out of it.
Yeah, I guess that's true. And then that Arcane Explosion is going to once again clear. Man, is it tempting at all to just leave those 1/1s?
Absolutely.
Because that's kind of interesting. That puts you in a tight spot.
Yeah, you do take damage every turn. I think we are better off clearing these right now. So we have the Arcane Explosion and the Cone of Cold to kind of delay the remaining damage.
Yep.
Which we'll go ahead and do that now. We also have another Cone of Cold to follow it up.
And so what are we hoping to, begin drawing into here? As we enter sort of, I don't know if you would call it the mid-game or as the game progresses.
Yeah, at this point, we definitely want to see our Flame Strikes. That's going to be our best way to deal with the board. And then we also want to see our Naxxramas. That's one of the easiest ways to deal with the bosses in this game.
Yep. Yeah, Naxxramas sets someone's health to 15, so it can heal you up or damage an enemy. And in a context like this, where the enemies are starting with 45 health instead of the normal 30, that can just be an absolutely massive blow.
Yep.
And it is sort of the centerpiece. The criticism is that it's kind of the easy mode for clearing these bosses.
Yep.
But, the heroic bosses are no joke. And so, anything that you can do to help get through them is, totally fair in my book.
Yeah, they're very difficult.
And we did draw into the Iceland's Frostbolt combo.
Yep. So we actually don't need all of our fireballs for killing the boss. So at this point, I do think it's worthwhile to kill this ambusher. It's going to pull this slime back to his hand. The Death Rattle. It takes a 5/5 off the board. And now we're at a point where we can really go heavy on card draw between Arcane Intellect and Novice Engineer, trying to get to our late game. Really decks with this minion. The Shade.
Is that one of the cards that you unlock, or is that one that only...
It hasn't been unlocked yet, but each turn it gains +1/+1, but it's stealth, so...
Yeah, but there's certain cards that are so unbalanced that players are never going to get access to them, and I don't remember all 30 spoilers offhand if that's one of the cards that we're eventually going to get, get
no,
to play.
That's not
You like my invention?
What if we did, though, man?
That would be amazing. Okay, so there's our Naxxramas. We have our win condition in place. The ice block helps us solidify that.
Because why the heck not?
Yep, and at
so,
this point, the game's basically over. With the ice block in place, the Alexstrasza will set the boss to 15. We'll be able to do, what is this, 10 damage with Crossbolts and Ice Lance, and then 10 damage with the Pyroblast. So, and he has an 8/8 shield.
Yeah, we've seen the last time that you said we thought we had things on lockdown against Faralina, things very rapidly turned against us. So, you know, I haven't done sort of the complete math on, you know, whether we do have this on lock yet. Is there temptation to Flame Strike?
Let's see. So, how much
let's
damage
talk
does he
through
have
it.
on the board? He has 5, 9, 12 damage on the board.
So he can't even. I mean, I don't know if he has any direct. I don't think Maexxna has direct damage in her deck. So it doesn't even fire off our secret this turn.
Correct.
Okay, so maybe wait one turn.
And you'll notice that she only has one card in the hand. So this, granted, this is AI, and it might not work this way. But if you were to look at a board like this in Constructed, you would see these two 1/1 web spinners, which aren't too threatening damage-wise. But if we kill them, he draws 2 beast cards. Those beasts could be anything. He could get 2 King Crush and then come straight at your face.
Yeah, that's actually a very, very good point, is that it's not drawing a beast that's in Maexxna's deck, it's drawing any beast that's in the game. And so you will see situations where suddenly a King Crush comes out of nowhere. Oh, I counted the damage wrong because I wasn't counting on... oh, no, I didn't. Or did I? We're going to see how many...
there we go, yeah. So he does proc the ice block.
I did count the damage wrong because I wasn't counting if that was going to pop up.
Yes. So we actually do have a situation here. The Voodoo Doctor's going to help us out. Given the situation we're in, I think we're actually going to delay this game a little bit longer. Well, let's think about this. We might have made a mistake once again.
Should we have flame striked? Flame struck?
Probably.
So what are our options here? You can freeze. You can freeze.
Yeah, the unfortunate part is the Spectral Knight
he can't be targeted.
So we might have a challenge on our hand. And this is going to keep getting bigger and bigger. I know what we're going to do. We're going to Alexstrasza back to 15. And we're going to Ice Lance this to delay it one more turn. And see if we can draw into something that helps us out. Preferably an Ice Block.
Yeah, it's funny how like kind of even the smallest details of like, so we thought we were going to have 1 HP and not proc the secret, but we didn't count that buff was going to come up.
Yeah, so right now we are in trouble. And we most likely need an Ice Block to deal with it.
We can draw one, certainly.
Yeah, so we're going to use our Cold Light Oracle to start churning through our deck.
Well, okay.
This Frost Nova is going to be very helpful.
It's. I would say it's mission critical at this point.
Yes, it is. Although, if we do...
And do you think you Frost Nova and then at least get some damage to the face? You Frostbolt the face, probably.
Yeah, we're trying to get to a point where we can Pyroblast it.
Yep. So we have to get him under 10.
Yes.
Ooh, but we can't quite do that with the Frost Nova, unfortunately. At least
we can delay the game. A Blizzard is also an out for us. Now, the decision we have to decide here is what gives us a better chance to win. Is it doing damage to the face right now? Or is it drawing a card and trying to get some of our answers?
Well, with the Hearthstone, it's so funny that it's full of little situations like this, but we're 1 mana short.
Yes.
Like, if we could Frostbolt twice, then we would do that and we would win.
Correct.
But we can't Frostbolt twice. We can only Frostbolt once. So I almost think you have to draw a card. I mean, that's my... Again, you're a better player than me, but as my sort of surface-level analysis, that's how I see it.
Yes, I am inclined to agree.
And then we hope we draw, you know, the ice
I hope you like my invention.
Okay, that Fireball is helpful. Because it'll let us get rid of this shade, possibly. We do keep a minion on the board. This is actually... Oh, never mind.
You gotta just stop. She can hear you.
Yes, it does appear that way. We might not have a good option.
No, if you fireball, then she doesn't have lethal.
So if we kill this, we're going to leave 9 damage on the board.
Yeah, but you can heal.
Correct. So I do believe that we need to fireball this minion. It's...
If you fireball and then heal and then get her to 9, oh, we might have done it, Tate.
It's possible. If we win our first
I don't
game.
want to. I'm gonna knock on wood. I'm literally knocking on wood. Because now you have
damage is on the board here.
less than 12.
Yes. All right, we're going for it.
Oh my goodness gracious. And she's gonna pull out some kinds of shenanigans. I'm sure of it. But that's what makes these bosses heroic. They truly are heroic.
Yeah. So we did make the right decision, drawing a card.
Oh yeah, absolutely. When you're backed into a corner, you don't have much of a choice sometimes.
It's actually surprising how many of these fights come down to this exact situation, where you're totally overrun, there is no hope, and you get to Pyroblast.
Womp. I've been holding that Pyroblast a long time.
Yeah, she's not too happy about that. I wouldn't be too happy either.
No, Joe. So that's sort of how to take down Maexxna. And we've shown you how to take down all the Wing 1 Naxxramas bosses, whether we actually had good luck when we flipped on the recording or not.
We got this one.
We did get this one. We're going to be back to, there's 3 new bosses every single week, and we're going to be showing you how to get through the heroic versions of all of them. So remember that for all things Hearthstone, you can keep it locked to IGN.